I stand half wet and half dry, all in colors, smiling at the tears that aired today and the memories that these colors brought along. Holi, the festival of colors, has always been very special to me. I still remember that day. It was the final year of my college, and I was in my medicine rotation. We rarely attended our postings but rushed to take our professor's signature on our attendance roster. So, as usual, after the rounds, I was rushing to pace with professor to take signature on my roster. And as usual, professor, after realizing that students are chasing him, walked at super fast speed to just run away from the students. And it was in this hurry that I bumped up with this girl. She had this test tube with blood sample in it, and now, because of me, it was all on the floor. She looked at me with anger, but I had no time to apologize, so I rather said, "Bura na mano, Holi hai." And saying this, I rushed out of the ward, and she stood there all red with anger. It was Holi that day indeed. After the medicine rotation, we went down in the parking to celebrate Holi with my friends. Final year and final Holi was indeed special. I and my friends played Holi insanely with colors, water, mud, and anything that we got. Just as my friends were attacking me with a bucket of water, I realized that this girl that I had bumped up was passing by. She saw me sternly. First in morning and now seeing me like this, she must have thought that I was a real loafer. But she stole my heart with her sight. In the morning, maybe I did not see her properly, or I don't know what, but now, as I was sitting while she was passing, there was this water from the bucket being poured on my head, but I was status quo. My eyes and my mind knew nothing except her. She had a different kind of beauty in her. Her little eyes, her little nose, petal-like lips. She took my heart at the very first sight. My friend tried coloring my face then, and I held his hand saying, "Ruk ja, dekhne de abhi." And from that very moment, she became Bhabhi of our group. In my entire MBBS life, I had never gone to hospital before 10:30, but the next day, I reached hospital sharp at 9. My friends came at 10:30, and then they had the same question. "Eh, sir, aaye kya?" "No," I said. And they were shocked. They said, "Really? आज तो 11:15 हो गए. Did he already leave?" He asked. And I said, "No, I'm here since 9. Sir did not come today." "9? And you? Wait, let me take your temperature. Are you well?" My friends mocked. And I said, "Please, Sushant, please, I'm no more in this mood of these jokes, and please leave me alone. Please don't spoil it for me." I said really angrily. "Arey, kya hua?" He asked, and then I did not reply anything, and so he said, "Oh, I see, Bhabhi ka chakkar. What happened? You couldn't find her today?" "No," I said half-heartedly. "Now I see, brother. Wait, don't worry. We will find her for you." And as he was saying this, I saw her in the corridor. And so I pushed Sushant back and started walking to her. She saw me, but knowingly she ignored me. She walked past me with her eyes down, and I stood thinking, what should I do now? And then I followed her and said, "Ma'am, I need to talk. Just a second, please." "Yes," she said. "Well, ma'am, I'm sorry for yesterday," I said. "Okay, that's fine," she said, and started walking again back to her work. And as she was walking past, I had already imagined my life with her. Filmy, indeed very filmy. But it was true. I never believed in love at first sight earlier, but she was the reason I had to believe in it now. I had 1.5 months in medicine, and now I attended this rotation really sincerely. Initially, she did not entertain me at all, but I would knowingly go to her and ask, "Ma'am, can you teach me how to take a sample, or how peritoneal fluid is drained, or how ventilator settings are read?" And I would read cases that are in the ward and go to her and discuss the cases with her. And slowly she started talking to me. It was the last day of my medicine posting and I was really sad. I did not know how would I talk to her more. And looking at her, I was damn sure that after I finish with this rotation, she would never entertain me anymore. So I thought I should take her phone number. But what if she gets angry? I was really worried, but somehow I gathered courage and asked her, "Ma'am, can I have your cell phone number, please?" "Why?" she asked. I often get doubts in medicine, especially ECG and stuff, So, can I have your number and I can ask you some of my doubts? I said with really innocent face, making up things, and she knew it. She tried to suppress her laughter, and I could see it on her face. And then, very sternly, she said, 999881234 I had jumped 6 feet above in my mind as soon as I heard her number, but I stood in front of her calmly and said, "Thank you, ma'am." Medicine rotations were over and hospital seemed no more interesting now. I often tried to go to medicine ward to get a glimpse of her, and she would see me and smile, but we would never talk. So this distance was killing me. She was in my heart, but I did not know how to tell her. This one thought took my night's sleep, but one day I got lucky. As routine, she would leave hospital at 5 in evening, and I was standing at the gate in my car to have a glimpse of her. Fortunately or unfortunately, she crossed the road, and at the very moment a two-wheeler came and hit her. She did not have many injuries, but she was mildly hurt. So I rushed towards her to help her out. She got up, dusted her clothes. There was crowd around her with people trying to help her, and I jumped in the middle and helped her out. And then I brought my car and asked her to drop her. She initially hesitated, but eventually I made her agree. And she was there, right next to me in my car. Wow, it was like a dream come true. I gathered my courage and asked her for a coffee. Do you mind if I take you out for a coffee?" I said in really quivering voice. She took a really long pause and then said, "Okay." So, this was our first meeting. I took it as a chance to tell her that not to judge me from the first day that she saw me. And I saw a little trust in her eyes that day. From that day started the chapter of our friendship. She helped me out with my confusions in medicine. We would sit in the college garden to discuss topics. I would take her out to lunch. Sometimes we would see movies together. I became her companion in the city. She was from Manipur and had very little friends here, so she would look at me when she needed a friend. An year passed. She was going to visit her family for 20 days. Now that we were spending most of our time together, imagining 20 days without her was a pure nightmare for me. She was going to leave for Manipur tomorrow, and today I was empty. So it was exactly the same date when I saw her the very first time. That too was a holy day, and today is holy day too. I told her that I would drop her to the airport. I bought some colors and some roses. I dressed all in white and went to pick her up. As I left home, I made sure that no one colored me. And as she opened the gate of my car, she saw a bunch of roses on the seat. She smiled and picked it up. "What is this?" "This is for you," I said gently. So she smiled. A little later, she said, "Samay, it's Holi, and still you're without colors. I'm surprised. I've seen you playing Holi last year." And saying this, she started laughing loudly. "Well," I said, "last year I needed those colors to make my life beautiful. But in an year, someone came to my life and added so many colors to it that those colors no more amaze me." She knew I was talking about her, and so she smiled to herself. "Shreya," I continued, "this is going to be really cheesy when I say that the very first time that I saw you, I could feel my heart beating loudly, and that very moment I knew that I want to spend all my life with you. As the days passed, my very instinct became my firm belief. With you, I require no one else. Your company makes me feel complete. Since last 1 month, I have been restless each day, thinking how at all am I going to spend next 20 days without you. And so I decided I had to say this to you today. I stopped my car and took her hand in mine and looked straight in her eyes and said, Shreya, I love you. We kept looking in each other's eyes for a minute, but she said nothing. Then she faltered and said, Samay, wait, Shreya, I interrupted. I have no courage to hear a no. In my heart, I have already died 100 times imagining what if you say no. There's a plate with colors on the back seat of my car. Now it is up to you. Either you color my life with a yes or leave me white. But just don't say anything. Let the colors speak for you. My hands were literally shivering and my heart was racing like never before. You can imagine it by the way I'm saying, but I was in a very bad state. And she said nothing. I started driving my car again. Next 20 minutes we spent in pure silence. I was hoping that she would pick up the colors, but she did not. We were at the airport. I took out her luggage and she left. I sat back in the car, all destroyed, with my head on the steering. I knew not how to deal with this. There were tears in my eyes and my body was completely frozen. Just then, I heard the door of my car open. It was Shreya. You don't look this way. You don't look good this way, Samay. And throwing colors in her fist on my face, she said, "Bura na mano, Holi hai." Tears rolled off my eyes. I was blank at that moment, but she hugged me and said, "I love you, dumb. I love you, Samay." And there my love story took its first breath. Holi had been special for me always, but not as much as it was today. The colors of Holi changed the colors of my life today. My life found its vibrancies that day. Half wet, half dried, I still stand and smile at all those colors that mingled to paint the canvas of my love story so perfectly. Love gives you the most perfect color of life, and I hope this color spree of my life never ends.